Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold and I'm going to my route. Nobody follow me. Doesn't look like anybody's following me. Alright, so don't idolize bad people. That's what we're talking about today. This is going to be vaguely similar to what I was talking about in an SG video from about 11.5 months ago, actually. It's been a very long time since I've talked about this topic, but sometimes, you know, you do need to sort of talk about it and just make your presence, or I guess your stance on things known, because you see things like, okay, that just juiced me, what the, but I guess maybe it's a little hard to explain. Maybe rather it's a little hard to make a full video out of, but it really is as simple as just like have empathy and don't be an ass. DBAA, right? That guy's gonna get my last tier 2 in there, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, I mean, DBAA. That's kind of what it's all about. And of course, now they're advertising a North America game when I already started on the EU servers. Very cool. So the point, is he still here? I don't think so. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you, the point that I'm trying to make is I want you to think rationally, and I like to think that my community that I have fostered is a mature one. I like that, you know, we've sort of all gathered here and I guess enjoyed Wiz together in a civilized way. But alright, that's that EU ping for you. that's Central United States trying to connect to a European server type deal. But yeah, kind of just don't really know how else to really elaborate. It's just kind of don't be an ass, and is this guy still in the building? But that is a different guy. Hello. You got your bow. He can probably just like destroy me if he does something right. He's got an FNS. Nah, he's just gonna run. But alright. Yeah, I guess I just don't really know how to elaborate on that anymore. It's but I have seen, and maybe this is just like, you know, Ice Gold, the politics nerd talking, but I've seen more bad people get idolized lately, and maybe that's just from like a lack of empathy type thing, and that's another thing that I could probably make a whole video about. Maybe I'll just like talk about that for the rest of this one, but it's just, you know, we have a problem, and I'm gonna talk about, you know, we as a society, big problem. But you kind of, maybe you get where I'm coming from. Is this guy? There's just some random. He's gonna get Speedy, but yeah. I guess it's just sort of, as a society, right? There's a concerning. Is this a team? This is a team. Kind of want that guy to come back now. I'll fight with you, two-door. Just not here, though. Okay. Just dive at me. Why don't you? Alright, I need two-door to come back for this. Later, geek. Holy, you suck. Anyway, so there's just been a lack of empathy that I've noticed, and it feels like people are just content with that. And I don't really know what to make of it, personally. I think it's just sort of, we have a problem when stuff like you know, like the great replacement theory or whatever is starting to be mainstream, or like a mainstream type belief. Because I mean, it's like there's all this stuff that's just straight up not real, and you're getting conditioned into thinking that it is real. And I see, I watched people in. Okay, W Rod crit. That's not a U thing. Lag is in fact an advantage, by the way. I just want to get that cleared up. Sometimes, but it's like you see. Well, yeah, I'll give him a run. But you kind of just see things like that happen, and it's just sad. It's like if Andrew Tate is like the norm or whatever, it's all a problem. I just realized I probably did a lot of damage to that guy, but I could probably talk some more. So it's like when a lack of empathy becomes sort of like commonplace, that's when I think we have a problem. And like, I feel like I've seen a lot of that. I like in my comment section on the last MCSG video where I talked about, you know, like how like racism is bad, and and like we have a problem in all this with that. And there were people in that comment section, like that video got about 6 dislikes, and you know, comes with the territory. You know, talking about that type of thing, it's to be expected. Can't really dark rust as well on EU servers. Kind of just glad I have an extra gapple. Yeah, he dark rusted me, but I'm doing it back. Okay, not really doing great here, but I guess it's just sort of. Okay, he's got the glitch. This guy's so laggy, laggier than me. I'm on like 130, 140 ping, but. I guess there were people hating, and there were people, I guess there was one guy who said who was like, I respectfully disagree, and me personally, I'm just like, is there a way to respectfully disagree with somebody saying, you know, like racism is bad? it's like, I don't know. I heard him out, and he was talking about, you know, I guess I'll spec this game. Good old SG Adrenaline game right here, but let me get that video up. Let me go find it. Let me see what he said. Hate in the world. Let me see here. So what did he say? For some reason, I don't know why. Like some of the comments on that video got, I guess, quote unquote blocked. But they still appeared like in my, I don't know, it was weird, but what did he say? I'm sure it'll still appear in my community tab. I did not delete his comments or any of that. I think it just sort of happened, but there were people saying, you know, like Hillary Clinton was further to the right on immigration than Trump, which, I mean, make that make sense, right? And yeah, he's like, it's a big facade, and a lot of people have woken up to it. It's why Trump's run the minority vote. Basically, like, he's just talking about, like, horseshoe theory, which is that sort of, like, both parties are the same. And I think genocidal egomaniacs are not the same as, you know, people who want to feed children. that's just me. But it's... There are some people who are a little apathetic about it. Okay, that guy just scummed, but... yeah, it's sort of just that apathy that can sort of cause the belief in horseshoe theory, and it's... people like that are just sort of jaded about things, and they're not optimistic that... it's like they acknowledge there's a problem, but they're like, oh, it's never gonna get better. It's never gonna get better ever. Both parties are the same, you know. You know, like Kamala Harris would have completely enabled Israel and told them to clear out the Gaza Strip, and now we have Trump saying he wants to build beachfront properties in Gaza. So, you know, make of that what you will. But all of the horseshoe theory stuff, and I guess we're not getting another game, but it's like Or this game's gonna start, right? Oh, well, I'll vote 1085. But I guess it's sort of... I don't really know how to describe it. It's like... There are people who disagreed with what I said in that video. Talking about, like, hate is bad. And... I don't know. It's... Make it make sense is sort of... Okay, so Demon's Breeze is probably going to win. Not a huge fan of that. But, yeah, I mean, it's just sort of... I don't really know how to reach people like that. I don't know how to tell people empathy is good. And I don't know, maybe some of the people that put dislikes on the last video will come back and, you know, talk to me in this one. And I would like to do that because I think that, like, I don't know, call me an optimist, but I think that the world can get better, and it's like just sort of, I guess it sort of comes back to just a culture of division is what's causing this lack of empathy in people. And I guess it can steer back around to my initial topic where... Alright, please don't jump me with a stun sword. That's all that I ask. This is one of the teamers from last time. I think I know what he's up to, but... Or no, I don't. But it's just sort of... Like, I want to... There's... I don't know. Hard to really explain. And maybe I should turn off my color saturation, because that's like having bloom active in the glacial waste. But it's just sort of, how do we go about fixing it? And it's like, you can tell people empathy is good, but they won't, like, will they listen? It's sort of about how you reach people. And if somebody is sort of too in that Andrew Tate bubble, where they just sort of, they're like jaded about everything. Everything sucks. The Jews are to blame. it's like some of the stupid stuff you hear people say, but I don't know. It's just a culture of fear and hate is never a good thing. And shoot, that's I hope that's not a hot take. I don't think it was a hot take. I think the dislikes on that last video were outnumbered 6-1, so that was helpful. And I'm really glad that there's a bunch of y'all that do think that, you know, things can get better. Where is this chest again? Here. Alright, didn't really give me much, but just need to not fall in the lava. I'm going to be focusing a lot more on that than actually talking. I also need to find a stick so I can make a diamond sword, but yeah, maybe that's just me. But I think the world can get better. It's just like not idolizing bad people is sort of the first step on the road there. And it's like, I hope that we get to a point at someday where we can sort of just say, you know, like, oh, this person has, you know, a bunch of fans, but he has been relentlessly accusing people of doing this, this, and this when it's completely false, and just sort of fear-mongering, and just sort of, I passed the Master Sword. I really need a Diamond Sword to beat him then, but, yeah, just sort of fostering that whole thing. And it's like when all that they're really experiencing is just sort of paranoia, and it's like people in chats like that will buy into it, and they will, you know, they will go along with it and make the problem worse. It's like, how, I don't know, maybe I'm being a little too on the nose when I talk about that, but I guess I'm just trying to talk about how iron chest plate, that's what we needed. Diamond sword. Okay, we're good. That guy's out for my blood. I killed him last game. Hello. I kind of don't want to go for this guy just yet, because he's not like teaming. But yeah, like one good rod and this guy's cooked though, so it's whipping out the bow. But yeah, it's just sort of, if you see somebody accusing somebody else, or like a large group of people without any proof at all whatsoever of that individual doing something, just based on like the history of something, it's like, I don't know. Call me old-fashioned, but I think it's innocent until proven guilty. That's just my take. And there's individual cases as well. It's like you can, like, a group of people can be like a different type of thing, but if there are people who tell you straight up like they are not the enemy, and they don't want to, is this happening? Yeah. Okay. So 2v1 and DM. Cool. Love that. That's a true MMC experience. But yeah, it's just sort of, if you see somebody just accusing and like I said, no proof, then what can you do except, you know, see through that and just try to steer the person in the right direction. And you'll probably get accused of, like, I don't know, backseating or whatever, or, you know, banned from the chat just out of pure incensed rage because you disagree with their opinion about, you know, one person's and that sort of thing. It's like, but that's just sort of as a bystander. And again, call me old-fashioned, but I think as a bystander, if you see that sort of thing happening and you know it's not true, or it's like you don't think it should be taken as fact, then call it out. That's what I'm going to say about it. It's like, people going against the grain is no fun if you're doing it alone, but it's still the right thing to do. It's like, do the right thing even if nobody else is gonna join you, and then who knows, maybe sometimes people will join you, and those are the best times, because it's like those are the people, it's like the people that do join you, you know, you change their mind. It's like, no, Cass does not in fact snipe Sauce every single night. As a matter of fact, he tries to avoid getting him because, you know, drama and whatnot, just gets kicked up. Even on the nights where they don't see each other, he still sort of goes off about it. But you get the point. It's like, just do the right thing, even when nobody else is watching, and even when nobody else will stand with you. Be virtuous, have empathy, and that is how we can stop people from idolizing bad people, and just sort of steer us back on the right path. And I don't know, maybe I sound like a hippie talking like this for all of, you know, 18 minutes and 29 seconds, but wow, that's a lot of encoding lag. I hope that's not going to be too bad. 4.6%. I don't know why it only happens when I record SG, but it does. Anyway, I think that's probably a good way to wrap up. Just sort of look for the right thing. Look for the right thing. Do the right thing. Maybe you'll sway some people to do the right thing as well. That's my piece for this week. Thank y'all for watching. I've been Ice Gold. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like with the comments for the algorithm. I've got some spell teasers coming later this week, so stay tuned for those, for spell weaving. And I will see y'all later.